So, Rick Stewart, how do you feel about your address to the Public Television Board today?
Well, today was my first try, and I was nervous as I was presenting it. I had a prepared speech. My hand was shaking a little bit. I hope it's not Parkinson's. But I think I did an okay job. I practiced it at home multiple times, which is what everybody should do if they're going to give a speech like that. And so I was pretty good. I think I accomplished what I wanted. What I asked them to do was to commission a public poll of their viewers to find out what their viewers wanted to see in the political debates that Iowa PBS sponsors. The reason I asked, of course, is because I was excluded from this year's debate because I'm not a Republican and I'm not a Democrat. If I had been a Republican or if I had been a Democrat, I would have been included in that debate. But I'm not. I'm a libertarian. So guess what? I was not invited. Brian Jack's here with me, and I thank him for his work. He presented also, and I'll let him tell you about it. But Iowa Public Television is less concerned about being a public television station and more concerned about making sure that nobody but a Republican or a Democrat is ever allowed to debate. And they were successful. They did not invite me, and I did not get to go. So, yeah, it was nice to tell them what I thought. I also offered to donate $1,000 toward the cost of that poll. And I asked all of the members of the Iowa board if they would also contribute, and not a single one of them fluttered a tiny eyelash. So it seems to me, since judging by their appearance, all of those people probably have $1,000 that they could donate to public TV for that purpose, but none of them are interested in the purpose of public TV. Therefore, they're going to keep their money in their pocketbook. I think that's a really sad statement about public television. I think it's a sad statement about their view on democracy in the United States and in Iowa. I think it's particularly galling that we have to pay taxes in order to support them, but they don't care about voters. Because I know for a fact what voters want to see in political debates. The reason I know that is there was a poll in 2012, 1,535 respondents, and 94% of them wanted to see more than just a Republican and a Democrat in the debate. 94%. Only 1.7% of them said that they were okay with not seeing anybody except a Republican or a Democrat. Interestingly enough, 4% of them, this one makes me laugh, said they didn't care what happened in the debates. It wasn't going to change their mind on who they were going to vote for. So, of course, the question to them is, I don't know, if your candidate passes away before the debate, you're still going to vote for him? Seems like a strange position for an educated voter, but that might be part of the problem in America is we don't have enough educated voters. We mostly have poorly informed voters. And one of the reasons that we have poorly informed voters is because the people who sponsor these debates in Iowa, in particular Iowa PBS, has throttled it so that they make sure that nobody except a Republican or a Democrat ever gets into the debates. I think that's really a tragic explanation for why we don't have informed voters in Iowa. Thanks, Brian Jack. Thanks, Brian Jack. I totally appreciate your efforts. Thanks for going to the meeting and filming the whole thing. Thanks for standing up and giving your presentation, which I thought was excellent. And thanks for all the hard work you've done for all of the Iowans, especially the ones in the 4th Congressional District. This year, previously in the 3rd Congressional District, I know that Iowa is well served by your efforts, and I totally appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Rick. Now, you've been excluded from other debates when you ran for U.S. Senate here, and Iowa Press didn't interview you in your 2 U.S. Senate.
I did get interviewed by Iowa Press this year. I appeared in their half-hour program. That's the first time. This is my 5th candidacy. It's the first time they've ever invited me to participate. I don't know, maybe in 5 more campaigns, Iowa PBS will discover that the people that they're showing their programs to want to see everybody, not just the Republican and the Democrat. But Yeah, exclusion is the rule in Iowa. Some states aren't like that. I believe it's Vermont where everybody gets to debate. I heard from you this morning that down in Arkansas, they had a debate for lieutenant governor, and all of the candidates were involved in that debate. So there are states that are progressive. Iowa's not one of them.
All right. Well, thank you for running. Thank you for everything you do, Rick. So God bless you.
It's good to be on the same team as you, Brian Jack.
Thank you. I'm glad to be teammates with you.
Let's go get them.
Let's get them. Team Liberty.
That's right.
All right. Thank you.
I'd help. But
No, you're
But I'm
fine.
helpless.
You're fine.